How's it going, guys? I'm your host Korban Gaming. Welcome back to another very special Adventure Quest video, and the topic of today's video is going to be on endurance. Okay, so is endurance the most useless stat in the game? And to that, my answer would be it depends. If you're low level, if you're not max level yet, the answer would be no. But if you're max level, then I would say the answer is actually yes. Now, endurance has always been in a funny place, and nothing much has really changed for endurance ever since the whole stat revamp went down. So, in my personal opinion, I feel like the only people who should be using endurance will be those people who are not yet at max level. It's really very good at the lower levels, helps you tank and survive a lot more of the harder hitting mobs because of the poor level scaling inside the game. But once you reach level 150, once you're able to get all your mastercraft gear, all your premium gear, let's not even talk about premium gear, let's talk about end game gear, just end game gear in general, your mastercraft stuff and all that. Okay, you don't really need endurance in my opinion. Okay, so without endurance, your base HP is about 2958, and with endurance, you're getting about 5k plus, close to 6000 HP. And the question really you need to ask ourselves is, do we need that much HP? Okay, and the answer to that is actually no. I do not think you need that much HP. Yes, you can still die with this amount of HP. So you might say, hey, maybe having more HP isn't bad, which I do agree with you. But you also have to look at it from a different point of view, which is you're investing 250 points inside of this stat. And this stat, it mainly gives you HP. So if you're not using up all of the HP at the end of the battle, then technically you are wasting a bunch of your stat points, okay, investing into this stat, and you're not getting the full value out of what you invested into this stat. And the thing is, you can never take full advantage of the 250 points in endurance, and here's why. Okay, it's unlike MP and it's unlike SP. Your MP and your SP can go to 0, the battle can still continue. You can regenerate those resources at a later time if you so choose. But for HP specifically, once your HP reaches 0, the battle ends. So you cannot play it so close such that, you know, you're going to die. I mean, you can, some people have, but it's not worth it inside of a battle to play it so close. And some people might argue that, hey, maybe you can use the extra HP as like a secondary SP bar with Essence Orb. And yes, you are right, but at the same time, you can also just use level 5 Essence Orb, and keep in mind, Essence Orb is probably going to be nerfed. I don't know when it will be. I hope it won't be nerfed, but we all know that it's probably going to get nerfed in some way. Maybe similar to how they nerf Pixel Eater, capping how much you can eat per turn. Then that's when HP really becomes a useless stat. You can't use it to fuel your EO clicks, so you can't really make use of the full HP bar, okay, unless you just want to sit in the opposite element armor and shield for some very weird reason and just tank out the attacks. But is there a reason to do that? In my opinion, not really, okay, because if you want to do that, chances are you're probably nuking with the opposite element, so you don't want to die. And your 250 points spent into doing that, you could instead spend it on luck. Okay, you're definitely going to have a main stat. You could instead spend that 250 points into luck. And maybe even charisma, even though I said that charisma, you're not getting a lot of value out of booster guesses specifically. You can check out the previous video that I did talking about charisma for more information on that. But yeah, if you're sitting in an opposite element armor and you want to nuke for full damage, then that's the only case where I can think of whereby you actually want to sit in an opposite element armor and you need the extra HP, the extra survivability. But you know, if you're nuking, then do you need the tankiness? No, because you're going to go ahead and kill the monster as quickly as possible. You're going to want to kill the monster before they have a chance to kill you. So it's sort of counterintuitive here. If you guys can get what I'm trying to say, you don't need the HP if you're trying to nuke. And also, you do get extra 12.5% healing resist with the endurance stat. And to me, that just feels very, very odd, because if you have that much HP, do you even need to heal? And even if you do need to heal, do you need to heal that often? Like, the whole endurance thing just doesn't make sense to me as a stat to train in, because one, you probably don't need that much HP, and two, if you're needing that much HP, chances are you're going to be nuking, and investing it in this stat does not give you any extra bonus damage. And secondly, investing in this set means you'll get part of your bonus is number one, it's going to be wasted if you're not using up all your HP at the end of the battle. And number two, another part of the bonus of your 250 points is going to be wasted because the heal resist, you're not going to be able to make the full use out of it. Like, do you need heal resist if you already have such a fat HP bar? Do you even need to heal in the first place? That's really the question that I have. Alright, so one thing that I forgot to talk about is the heal resist modifier has been moved from a baseline effect to a style bonus. Previously, I only glossed over this and I didn't really realize what the ramifications are for this change. But actually, this is a nerf to endurance in general, just a very, very small one, not something that you should get worked up over. But yeah, previously, as long as you train a little bit of endurance, you get a bit of your heal resist, which can be good for some people who like to try some funny builds like, you know, having 50 points in endurance or just 100 points in endurance. But what they're trying to do now is they are really trying to encourage everyone to play 250 points inside of everything instead of whatever you invest in order to get the star bonus. To me, I don't like this because it sort of limits the ideas and the creativity that you can have when it comes to stat build. If you want to get a full power, you need to put 250 points. You can't just put 50 points, put 100 points and call it a day. And your star bonus only kicks in at 150 points and upwards. That's a pretty hefty investment already. And if you're going for like 150 points, you might as well go all the way and go 250 points, right? So yeah, they changed it to a star bonus. So no, you can't put like 50 points inside here, get a bit of extra HP, and then maybe you can use the extra little bit of healing boost as well. No, it doesn't work like that anymore. So you need at least 150 points inside of endurance in order to get the heal resist. But again, I'm circling back to the first point, which is, do you need heal resist when you have that much HP? And the answer is a big fat no. So keeping in mind all of these, as an endgame player, what is the purpose of endurance? There's no purpose, right? I don't see the benefit of endurance. And you know, there's so many other status effects that you can use, as well as stuff that can help you minimize damage. Okay, you of course, if you're using your standard resistance armor and shield, and maybe you want to use a miscellaneous item, even if you're using a modern one, all right, you bring your resistance down to like let me see, now it's 39, 26. Okay, you bring it down to 13%. You use a modern miscellaneous item, you cut it, you're only taking like 6.5% of the damage. Alright, and if you're using an old miscellaneous item which cuts it by 10%, then you're effectively only taking like 3% of the element's damage. Do you need endurance for this? No. And on top of that, there's also other status effects. You have your choke, alright, you have your panic, both of which are really, really good at reducing enemy damage and have quite a good number of infliction items as well as potency items already, in my opinion. So, you know, there's so many options available. And another thing you can also use is you can use your stuff like your donuts. If you have a bag of mixed nuts, I know not everybody has that. And you can also use Invincible Star, which is one of the most highly recommended ultra rare golden gift box items that you should get. And if you don't have, you know, if you already have the perma rare version of Invincible Star, then even better, because you don't need to spend an ultra rare golden gift box on that. So yeah, there's just so many ways to reduce and mitigate damage in the game that if you're playing this game like how it should be played, then you should not be taking that much damage, so much damage such that you actually need to spend points into endurance. And keep all that in mind, even the base healing numbers without this heal resist, there are still plenty of crazy ways that you can heal inside the game. The first one, and the most obvious one, and my favorite one, is of course going to be potions. This is accessible and available to everyone. You know, the base HP potion heals about 600 plus HP, which is about, I would say, more than close to 20, is it 20%? I don't know, about 20% of your HP. Okay, assuming you don't train any endurance at all. Okay, so around this up to 3000. So 600 is about 1/5. Yeah, it's about 20% of your HP without training endurance. And if you do train endurance, then you heal about 1000 plus HP. But of course, if you do train endurance, you get close to 6000 HP. So it sort of evens out to be about the same percentage wise. But Of course, if you train endurance, then the chance of you needing to heal up is going to be even lesser. And then you have other healing options like your siphon, which is based off your damage dealt. You also have your healing pets and gases like your mosquito, like your HP healing pets. Let me see, what are great HP healing pets? Meteoroid, Cometoid, Jelly, all those are going to be able to heal your HP by a fat amount as long as you have charisma and luck, and you don't even need this extra heal resist. And if you are really, hell-bent on boosting your healing as much as possible, then good news for you, because we already have a bunch of heal resist items inside the game. Not a lot yet, not a lot of options, but it's there for those who want it. So, do you need this? The answer, once again, is going to be no. What they did was to make this a little bit more attractive, a little bit more useful, was that once per 10 turns, break out of a stun. This is applied first before any other unstoppable effects. Not that I think unstoppable effects are useful at all, because honestly, how many monsters inside the game actually have a stun? And if we keep in mind bosses, okay, how many bosses actually stun you? I can't really think of many. Right, the most dangerous or annoying one I can think of is probably the Immoran Knight. Okay, that guy's not even a boss. Pretty tanky mob and has a very high stun rate if you do not have the proper darkness resist gear. Alright, and a lot of stuns nowadays are based off that elements resist. So as long as you're sitting in the right element, the chance of you getting stunned should not be very high. Of course, we all know how RNG works. RNG hates us. Even if it's like 10%, we are almost going to get stunned. Alright, we are almost always going to get stunned, even if it is a measly 10%. So you can use other unstoppable effects, but with endurance you can sort of skip that and break out of a stun, guaranteed, I think, once every 10 turns. I like that it's guaranteed, but once every 10 turns, how often do battles against stun mobs last more than 10 turns? At most, you're going to use this twice in a battle. Okay, assuming you want to drag out to 20 turns. Most battles don't even drag out to 10 turns. So at most, you're going to use it once. But at least, if you get stunned, this is going to be guaranteed useful. That's something that I really like. Okay, something that is guaranteed compared to like your charisma, ferocious strike, compared to your luck, the lucky break. Okay, this is guaranteed, which is a lot nicer. But breaking out of stun, how useful is that effect? I don't know. Maybe if they implement more monsters that stun in the future, this could be great. But right now, I still don't think it's like amazing or anything like that, and it's definitely not worth training endurance just to get this stun breakout. Okay, because there aren't many monsters who stun, and for monsters who stun, you can sort of avoid the majority of it by using your standard elemental resist gear, or you can go ahead and dodge that shit. Of course, there's a 5% chance now for you to miss that dodge, but you guys get what I'm trying to say, right? There's just so many different ways to overcome stuns. Alright, not just overcome, maybe resist. And even if you do get stunned, if you're sitting in the right resist gear, you shouldn't be too worried. Like, I don't think the monster's going to one-shot you or anything like that. So yeah, and I can't really think of any monsters that both stuns and nukes at the same time. Maybe that's an idea for the next monster stuff. You can consider that. You guys know me, I am always a fan of buffing monsters rather than nerfing our items and nerfing the players. Alright, if you want the game to be more challenging, then make the monsters more challenging. Don't make the players weaker. Nobody likes that. It's devaluing our purchases, devaluing the time that we spend to get those items for free-to-play items, and of course devaluing our money for those premium items. So I would much prefer if the staff just goes ahead and introduce more interesting monsters, more powerful monsters. And there's a lot of ways that you can do this without needing to touch the powerful items. Alright, like I've given a lot of ideas over the years. I don't know if the staff have been listening or not, and I'm sure many other people have came out with a lot of ideas as well. So yeah, that's my thoughts on endurance. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you think endurance is actually a useful stat, or do you think it's a useless stat? Right now, I see no point to train endurance at all. While I do not think endurance needs a buff or anything, maybe it sort of needs a bit of a change to make it worth using at level 250. Yeah, below at level 150, sorry. So below that level, it is a very good stat. But once you reach level 150, it's sort of like not used at all, or it's just not very good to use. How do you guys think endurance can be changed such that it will be useful for both low levels as well as high level players? Alright, and the answer of course is not to nerf it, because I think lower level players are going to struggle a hell lot without endurance. Alright, but make it more attractive for higher level players. Currently I don't really have any ideas, but if you guys have, leave them down in the comment section, post it on the forums. Alright, with that being said, hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you have, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to this channel if you guys would like to see more of such future content. Till the next time, I'm your host Korban Gaming. Peace out.